Hey everybody, welcome to In My Humble Opinion with Imran Anwar. I just wanted to make a quick comment today on video because this part of the year of 2025 marks literally 30 years, 3 decades since my first video comment, which was posted in early autumn from my Long Island, New York home 30 years ago in 1995. Back then, I think I had the Apple Power Mac 110 AV, which had the video capability, and I had hooked up a Panasonic video camera with it. And the idea was that you could do these postage stamp sized videos, which were obviously very low resolution and low size, small size, that you would then post to your website, etc. So that was 30 years ago. And I think today's election day in around the country in the United States, and these 30 years have brought a lot of change to society and to our lives. Obviously, I won't go into all the political things I can say today because today is all about marking what really has been a remarkable journey for all of us. For me in particular, having spent about 40 years of my life in America now, but the last 30 years since that first video comment have just been a blur of activity. Who of amongst us could literally say that you knew where you would be 30 years since back then? Many of you might not even have been born then. So, welcome to the stream. I have been a little slow in terms of doing these more aggressively and regularly because I've also been working in technology companies for the last 15 or 20, 15 years of the last 30 years. And when I have a big company job, then of course I have to bite my tongue and try to avoid saying something that would upset clients of a company. There's always people who talk about free speech but are ready to do cancel culture on you. Not that I say anything too overly obnoxious, but I did have a video, I did have a opinion piece on my imran.com website before Blogger, etc., came out. Back then, you would post your comments right in your website, and I think I had two which are still online somewhere. One was the 2 cents worth, but it had a picture of 2 pennies, 2 cents, but it was 2 sentences worth. I would have short, pithy opinions about something that was going on in the world at that time. And then I had another one, which was the Imran's obviously outspoken, occasionally obnoxious opinions. So there were 5 O symbols, not in the shape of an Olympic sign, but like 4 O's with one in the middle. And that's still online as well. So that's coming up on 30 plus years of that. But today, I just wanted to see how everybody's doing. I haven't had time to check the election results as they have been coming in. And I hope to be talking to you more regularly on this channel and others as well. Among other things, I obviously want to talk about the areas that are of great interest to me, which are obviously technology and innovation, especially with quantum computing and artificial intelligence. But what does that mean to the human condition? What does that mean to society? What does that mean to democracy? What is happening in society and democracy overall? That's a whole separate theme. Technology has now become an active player in both promoting democracy but also destroying democracy. So there are those topics we will probably have to discuss a lot more often. In addition, of course, not just quantum and AI, but technology has become such a part and parcel of our homes and lives. 1989, when I joined Columbia Business School for my MBA, I remember my late mother had been visiting me. This was around early 1989, and I had gone out to buy my first personal computer here in the United States. I had one back in Pakistan, and it was an Atari Mega 4 ST, if anybody remembers those. And those are amazing computers, 68,000 CPU from Motorola, which was also the basis of the Apple Macintosh back then. And the Atari was awesome because you could emulate DOS on it, which some people didn't believe was possible, that you could emulate an x86, an 8086 CPU on a 68,000 Motorola CPU, some so-called geniuses even. But you could run DOS and Mac OS and Atari MIDI music applications, etc., on that same computer. So at that time, I had wanted to buy a modem so I could log into. There was no commercial internet yet. You could log into CompuServe and other companies like that, but also to log into my Columbia University systems. And so when I went and I bought the 300 bits per second, 300 BPS, which is not even like imaginable to most people today. When I bought that modem and I brought it to my Columbia apartment, I felt that it wasn't fast enough for me. So I was like, Mom, I'm going to splurge and I'm going to get the biggest, baddest technology that is available. And that was a 1200 BPS, bits per second, not megabits, not gigabits. It was bits per second, and I'm going to buy one of those 1200 BPS modems. She actually came along with me. This was Manhattan, New York City. I think we went to a place that may not be around anymore. J&R, I think was the name, J&R Music World, down near City Hall, which, by the way, is kind of interesting that we're talking about City Hall because there is a possibly historic or who knows disruptive election going on in New York City right now for the position of mayor. So anyway, we went took the train from Columbia, the one train I think it was, and all the way down to City Hall, walked to JNR. And when I bought that 1200 baud modem, 1200 BPS modem, I remember the guy asking me, "Oh, do you have a business?" And I was like, "No, this is for personal." And he was like, "Wow, nobody buys these ultra fast 1200 BPS modems for personal use." But anyway, that was my journey. And then pretty soon I had a Supra 2400 BPS modem. And pretty soon, I think, a Hayes 1200, then a Hayes, I think, 2400, then Supra Max that could do fax as well. I still have one of those laying around somewhere. So imagine that the technology has evolved so much that as I'm speaking to you from my home in Florida, um, I'm actually on a 5 gigabit per second internet connection. 5 gigabit compared to starting with like, 1200, frankly. What a journey in those 30 years for the technology. And then, of course, the expansion and the growth of mobile phones has made the internet accessible to everybody. So, with all that, of course, with all that power comes great responsibility. Unfortunately, I don't feel the few powerful men who, and it's always men who hold the power in such a way that they do it for grand schemes to get themselves richer or think that they will live forever. Women, I feel, generally tend to be more understanding of humanity and want to give away more to make the world a better place. Not making a sexist comment, that's just an observation. But that's the nature of society that we face today. I don't think that we are safe now with AI obviously being a threat, but more than that, forget artificial intelligence and forget natural stupidity, which is so common and clearly on display every day. I think our biggest threat is from the people who are in power in Washington trying to turn this country into a tyranny, into a fascist state, and at the same time from the megalomaniacs and the a trillionaire wannabe and people who feel 200, 300, 500 billion dollars is not enough when a fraction of that can literally solve world hunger and so many of the problems that the entire planet faces. So that's kind of where we stand. And some of those things 30 years ago, looking back at myself doing my first video blog, I would have wondered, like, where will we be in 30 years? I will be honest, I had far greater hopes for the human race and for ourselves as people. Have we lost the battle? I don't think so. I think good people will still win in the end. It's going to be a tough battle, but I appreciate your joining me for this. I want to keep it under 10 minutes, literally to express my gratitude for those of you who have stayed with me in that 30-year journey, video wise, even though it might have been on and off. And of course, the opinions online and the articles I write that you all share your opinions on. Uh, what do you think? Did you feel free to read the transcript? I'll try to post the transcript as well. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your thoughts are on technology. Where have you seen the evolution take your life? And where do you think we will be 30 years from now? Thank you so much for joining and thank you so much for watching. I will see you around.